Chinku on the side was also completely confused. This map has only one turn, and the rest are straight lines. Suddenly, began to recall. He came to the mountain because he got lost. He ate bitter herbs for several days to satisfy his hunger. After returning, a certain part of his body underwent a huge change. No matter how much he tried to lose weight, Ling Xiaoyue was so depressed. She strongly expressed to her senior sister, "I also want to get lost." Mu Yuan, a simple and innocent girl, asked why. But Xiaoyaya muttered with her head down, "It's really frustrating to compare with others." Along the way, Mu Yun held Ben Kao Gang Mu while comparing the medicinal materials. Yang Qingku was responsible for using Yufeng Ju, picking the medicinal materials selected by Shi Ji. Otherwise, a strong and full of aura of herbal fragrance came towards them. Qingku looked at Meiyun as if he also sensed the little senior sister's sense of smell. Wow, she can smell such a secret scent. Just as he felt lucky, the girl was lying on the ground, seemingly searching for something. "Wait, bro. Your position seems to be off. Could there be any big treasure I haven't found?" Just as he was puzzled, this silly senior sister picked a few fruits and was ready to leave. Looking at the cute senior sister, Qingku also knew that he couldn't find the precious herbs at all. So she jumped up from the ground and picked the mutated spirit grass from the tree. This shocked the second senior sister. It was actually a mutated blue orchid grass, and the quality was extremely good. She asked Xiuqiu in disbelief, "How did you find it?" Yang Qingku ignored her, just picked it casually. Another 300-year-old Qing Guo. After a cup of tea, Yang Qingku found nearby the neglected treasures for hundreds of years, all out, and told the silly senior sister helplessly to remember the taste. Then Qingku waved his hand and asked the two girls to wait here. He was going to pick some ripe neighbors back. When he said this, Xiaoya and Miyun were shocked beyond words. Could it be that the neighbors only bear fruit once a century? Chunku said it should be more than 100 years. It seems that it has reached the level of direct consumption. Hearing this, the two immediately perked up, urging Chunku to take them there quickly. A moment later, the three arrived at a dead tree. The two girls thought the tree was dead. How could it bear the neighbor? But Chunku asked her senior sister to split the tree. Muyuan waved her hand like this. A refreshing fragrance spread out. Just as they were about to pick the precious fruit, three figures suddenly appeared. Muyuan saw the people coming. He secretly thought something bad was going to happen. The three ignored Chinku, who had discovered the neighbor first. They directly grabbed the neighbor. Then they said arrogantly, "This neighbor is ours. If you don't agree, you can try to take this man." He was about to show off to his two cute senior sisters. Surprise! But a fewish holes came out to spoil their fun. Seeing that they were not good, Shou Ya asked who they were. Muyuan explained that they were the disciples of the second elder. Because their master is away for a long time, so they often come to trouble us. Facing the three arrogant people, Mayan chose to endure and turned around to take them away. But the three not only didn't restrain themselves, but also mocked them even more. Sure enough, the people of Qin Yufeng didn't dare to fart. Another asshole also agreed with him. plus a waist with a twin mutated spiritual root. They are a bunch of useless people. Xiaoya stopped immediately after hearing this. Who did you just call a loser? But this person became even more arrogant. Qingku said, of course he said the guy named Yun is a waste. Xiaoya was extremely angry at this time. And a terrifying murderous intent emanated from her. But this guy was even more provocative, provoking her endlessly. It's a pity that you stay on Qingyu Peak. Why don't you come to our Red Rock Peak? Let my brother enjoy the warm and smooth body. The feeling again. Suddenly, a swish sound rang out. The hair of this asshole fell to the ground. Lin Xiaoya couldn't bear it anymore. You have the guts to say that again. Made the guy in front of him completely lose his temper. A disciple who just started. Dared to hit me. I think you're tired of living. Then he punched hard and punched Xiaoya in the face. Xiaoya first caught the fist with one hand and then a flying kick and stepped on him hard. Qingku was the cheerleader. Began to cheer and encourage. The senior sister among the three saw this scene. Were shocked. She didn't expect that someone who had just started would use spiritual sense. The guy who was just stepped on didn't care about it, completely disregarding the fact that they were from the same sect. He now only wants to kill Lin Xiaoya to vent his anger. Qingku wanted to step forward. Muyun directly told him to step back, which made him feel confused. Two girls were protecting themselves. I am a dignified disciple. And Muyun also took out his weapon and joined the battle with a huge and soft sense of justice. Seeing the unfavorable situation, the senior sister quickly called the guy next to her to help. This guy has no integrity and started a sneak attack. Just as the two were about to be hit by the fireball, young Qingku dodged and caught the attack with his hand. He gently squeezed it with his hand, and the intense flame immediately disappeared. Seeing this scene, the faith of several minions was instantly shattered. They couldn't help but doubt whether the posture he learned Lingju was wrong. Just as the three were confused, young Qingku had already come behind them. 1-2. In just one night, he knocked them out neatly. Then Qingku mobilized the spiritual power in her body, hanging them on the tree with bamboo poles. Xiaoya and Muyun were shocked by Qingku again. Qingku pretended to be calm. Just be natural. With me here, any strong person is a piece of shit. This man gave up ascension for his lover. Now he finally gets his wish. Developed a touching love story. Young Qingku, who came back from Baibao Peak, because he ate the food cooked by Xiaoya again, felt extremely satisfied. The two girls on the other side seemed a little lost. They felt that their cultivation was compared to Chen Keiyu's, completely wasted on cultivation. Xiaoya asked Qingku curiously, "How did you cultivate to be so powerful?" But Qingku replied with a relaxed face, "Do these things still need to be cultivated?" This answer caused the two girls' worldviews to collapse directly. Muyuan felt even more sad and left. The conversation was too heavy. I can't bear the heavy conversation. After senior sister left, Xiaoya blushed and asked Qingku to take off his clothes. Qingku was stunned at first. What do you want to do? And then his attitude took a 180 turn. Come on, with more force. Please don't contact me. This cheap look directly made Xiaoya feel numb. Do you only think about that shit in your head? Xiaoya said unhappily. During the time I was practicing, you were lazy and stupid. Your clothes must be dirty. Take them off, and I'll wash them for you. Chinku was embarrassed to say it's okay. I like the smell of sweaty feet and bad breath. Xiaoya ignored him. She directly accelerated in a spiral and pulled off Xinqiu's clothes. The speed made the editor feel amazed. At this time, Xiaoya also began to recall. When he was a child, Chinku was often bullied. She always stood in front to protect him. Unexpectedly, Chinku is so powerful now and no longer needs her protection. While thinking, Xiaoya suddenly felt dizzy and fell unconscious and then passed out. Chinku quickly put Xiaoya on the bed and then input spiritual energy into Xiaoya. Then he suddenly found that Xiaoya was a saint body, which was extremely rare in the ancient times. Extremely rare innate physique in the cultivation world. Those with this physique are protected by the Tao. If he had this physique, he could have ascended to the immortal realm 2,000 years ago. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been struck by lightning 999 times. Unfortunately, Xiaoya's physique awakened too early. But her weak body couldn't bear it at present. After thinking again and again, Chinku decided to set up a spirit formation on Xiaoya to delay the integration of spiritual power and Xiaoya's body. Then he took off Xiaoya's coat. At this moment, Xiaoya's charm fully deserved the words alluring and charming. Then he held Xiaoya's feet. His true nature as a pervert was immediately exposed. No, I need to calm down quickly. If he continues, the painting style will not pass the review. Then Chinku gathered true qi with his fingers into various acupuncture points on Xiaoya. Instantly, golden light surrounded Xiaoya. With Chinku's command, the spiritual power of the heavenly mysterious holy body began to emanate from Xiaoya. The little girl's consciousness began to gradually clear. She kept calling Chinku in her mouth. I feel so hot. And a strange feeling became stronger and stronger. Then she threw herself into Chinku's arms and accompanied by a kiss and kissed Chinku's face. Now Chinku couldn't hold it anymore. Under the wave of love, he started a fancy free fall. This man who has been single for 10,000 years was suddenly thrown into his arms by the girl. He was completely at a loss. He thought that as long as he was immoral, morality couldn't do anything to me. But at the critical moment, still maintained the last bit of integrity in his heart. After being suddenly attacked by Xiaoya, after a fierce ideological struggle, he gently pushed Xiaoya away. Looking at Xiaoya's charming sleeping posture, Chinku took a deep breath. Just as he was about to leave, he suddenly found that a mark appeared on Xiaoya's navel. This shocked Chinku. Isn't this mark on the formation the same as his spirit mark? But he had never done anything with Xiaoya. How could it appear on Xiaoya? The spiritual mark only exists in the double cultivation. The so-called spiritual mark of a dual cultivator is the mark of entrusting each other's body and mind. After having the spirit mark, both parties start to share each other's contracts. The spiritual power gained during double cultivation increases exponentially, but there is one limitation. Once you have each other's spiritual mark, it means that you have entrusted your body and mind to him. From then on, they cannot betray each other. In other words, Lin Xiaoya can only be touched by Qingku. No one else can touch her. Thinking of this, Qingku went crazy. I just had a deep and profound conversation with Xiaoyaya. How did it become like this? I was chosen just by sending some spiritual energy. Can you be more casual? I'm a dual cultivation master without touching her. How will I explain to Xiaoyaya later? I didn't even touch her. Will she believe it? Suddenly, there was a sound behind Qingku. It was Xiaoyaya who walked out of the room. She was stretching lazily. She just had a good sleep. She slept well.